Hi friends! Oh, I'm excited about today's card because I am using my very favorite bundle from the new 2018 Holiday Catalogue from Stampin' Up, and it is the Farmhouse Christmas because I love old-fashioned trucks. I love them. I just love everything about this stamp set, and the dies are phenomenal, and it even has the most adorable little fence, and I have a fun project that I made at my retreat recently using all of this, and that will be coming soon to my YouTube channel. But in the meantime, I have a cute card to share with you using this bundle. So I have some pieces already cut out. I'm using the gorgeous mossy metal, and this whole bundle can be found on page 13 of the Holiday Catalogue. And I'm going to be using the Festive Farmhouse Designer Series paper. I'm using the Cherry Cobbler cotton twine that's part of this trio twine. I'm also using cardstock from the Festive Farmhouse cardstock pack, which coordinates. This is awesome. And we're using the corrugated Dynamic Textured Impressions embossing folder. Oh, love this card, love this suite. So, mossy metal, I've cut this at 11 by 4 1/4 and folded it in half. And this measures 3 3/4 by 5. These are both from that Farmhouse Designer Series paper, and they both measure 2 by 4. This is just a scrap piece of cherry cobbler, and so this is the die that I used for the bows and just ran it through my Big Shot. And this is the die, and it's stitched as well, that I used to cut out this piece. Then I have a piece of Fairy Vanilla. This is just a scrap piece of cardstock. I'm going to be trimming that down for the banner. Here's another piece of scrap cardstock. It's Pear Pizzazz. It's not part of the Festive Farmhouse cardstock pack, but I wanted a lighter green, just a piece of scrap. This piece of crumb cake measures 3 by 3, and then of course my cherry cobbler twine. Okay, so now it's time to run my cardstock through my Big Shot using the corrugated embossing folder. Now this is one of our Dynamic Textured Impressions embossing folders, so it's quite thick, so I only need one plate. And what I'm going to do is put my paper this way because I want my lines to go, sorry it's so close, I want my lines to go across rather than down. So I'm just lining that up, and I'm lightly misting it with water because when you use these Dynamic Textured Impressions embossing folders and you mist your cardstock first, you will get an even deeper impression. Okay, so I've got my platform open to tab 1. I've got my embossing folder and then just one plate, and that goes on top, and just run that through the Big Shot and wait until you see this. Holy cow, isn't that awesome? Okay, so that little bit of water will dry. Now here's a little tip for you. I have found that if I put adhesive on this piece, it tends to pull those ripples a little bit. So what I do is I put my adhesive onto the bottom layer of the cardstock. So I'm just going to put that right on tone, but of course we have that beautiful texture. And then if you need to put some more adhesive on, you can. But I just find that that works better because then you're not pulling on that texture piece. Now, I am going to overlap my Designer Series paper. Just like that. Okay, so now I have my two pieces adhered to each other. I want to wrap this cherry cobbler twine around the front like this. And I should mention, if you need to trim the sides, you're going to obviously do that first. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive across the back. And wrap those around. Okay, so I'm taking some Stampin' Dimensionals and I'm going to put them on the back so I can get them off. So I'm actually going to put a dimensional on the end of each one of those twine bits. Technical terms, right? And we'll put a couple there. Okay, so I'm going to put a glue dot behind this. Now this card is not an original idea of mine. I do not for the life of me remember where I'd seen this card. I can't remember if it was on the Stampin' Up! Alaskan Cruise, or I can't remember, but it's not my original idea, but I loved this card. And so did the ladies at my retreat. It's one of the cards we made at our creative holiday retreat this past weekend. Now I'm taking the house stamp. I'm taking Early Espresso. I'm stamping it on the piercing mat. It makes a big difference when you're working with photopolymer, as you will see. Ta-da! Okay, so now we need the house die. Okay, so you see how perfectly that fits. I am going to put that on my magnetic platform and run that through my Big Shot, and I will be right back. Okay, so there's my die cut for the house. Now I'm going to stamp my wreath, and I'm stamping it on the Pear Pizzazz, and I'm also inking that up with my Early Espresso. Okay, and there's an itty bitty die for that too, so again I will be right back. Alright, here's my little wreath. Now I'm stamping my sentiment. Again, I'm going to use my Early Espresso, and I'm going to stamp that on that scrap piece of fairy vanilla. Okay, so that's it for stamping. Now it's just a matter of putting the rest of the card together. So I'm just going to take my scissors and turn this into a banner. And I'm going to go up the center and from the corner to the center. Okay, so there's my little banner. I'm going to set that aside. Okay, so this banner I want to go behind this house. So I'm going to cut it in half, put some adhesive on just one end, and stick it behind. Same thing. And behind. Make sure it's not too long. Yeah, it's too long. Let's do that again. That's better. Okay, stick some dimensionals behind that. And that just gets put on right there, and I'm lining up these corners with that twine. Okay, so now I'm going to put on my wreath. So cute. I'm going to put a little tiny dab of glue on that little bow. Got a little bow right here. Adorable. And then this goes right on top of the house. And I'm just lining it beneath the windows. This is just a piece of computer paper. Whoops. Measures 4 by 5 1/4, and that goes on the inside. And there's my finished card. So here's the original one I did. The only difference is I made the banner a little bit longer. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that card. Now, this card was part of a mini class that I held at my creative holiday retreat this past weekend. I had 4 mini classes. This was the card class. So I'll show you the other 4 cards. The first 3, these ones, I have tutorials on my blog. So there's this card, this one with the snowman, spirited snowman, adorable. This is with Making Christmas Bright. And then this card, which I also did a video for, really easy card. And then this card. So those were all one class at the holiday retreat. So I hope you enjoyed the card tutorials on my blog as well as the videos for these 2. And I have more videos coming from projects that we made also at the retreat. So until then, thanks for watching and happy stamping.